As you can read it down in the comments below or in the title, Google is coming for your phones. Now, this is wild. This is absolutely wild. It's a story that has been coming up from about a year ago. And as a matter of fact, some gamers and some people in the Geek community, as of January, have actually started noticing that some of these attacks have already started on certain phones. As a matter of fact, some people in the gaming community have noticed that the menu that was there before, this is the old menu. So you see, let's say maybe your phone has a problem and you want to format it and reboot it, right? I think I forgot the name of how you actually do it. When you switch it off and you switch it on, you hold down the button of the off button and the volume down, something like that. Don't do it, you might switch off your phone. You might wipe your phone, so be very careful with that. But the instructions are online and stuff like that. Now, you guys have probably heard me saying this before. I follow a lot of geek news. Geek basically gamers, software people, even though I don't exactly fully understand everything, but I follow it because I know geek community and gamers are mostly 5 years ahead. They're mostly 5 times ahead. And as a person who follows prophecy and watches prophecy, I want to know what the geek community is seeing, because geek community has a lot of spies, a lot of hackers, ethical hackers, as a lot of people that research a lot of information, people who are on the Reddit communities and stuff, so forth. So these people tend to see a lot of information that the average person might not see at all. Okay, I remember back in 2016, 2017, the geek community was one of the first communities that red flagged that social media will soon want IDs. They were seeing that way in 2017 when the issue of parental guidance was being increased on YouTube and so forth. All these things were happening. And they gave the red flags. Nobody listened. And guess what? In the UK and whatnot, some of these countries, kids can't access TikTok and whatnot unless they access it through someone. Because the rules now is that these people must sign up with their IDs and so forth. And they say it's for kids protection. And you'll know, if you know anything right now, you'll know that there is a whole case pertaining Roadblock. There's a game called Roadblock and stuff like that, because a lot of predators were in the platform and were kind of like talking to kids, funny things and stuff like that. There's a whole case right now. If you just go online and you search Roadblock lawsuit, you'll see what I'm talking about. And so, and I addressed some of these points when we were speaking about the South African digital ID subject, about how social media is trying to bring that back. And you'll remember I pointed out that Facebook, as a matter of fact, is trying to get a patent to even allow them to post on your behalf when you're dead. Imagine. It's getting pretty wild right now. And so right now, for Google to now come up with this new thing that they're trying to do right now, oh, that's crazy. It's about to go crazy. As of September, by the way, if you think as of September, Google is planning something. Okay? Google is planning something, and if they have their way, your phone is going to be something else. Now, let me explain something so that you can understand why I put this particular menu here up. So you see your phone, your Android phone right now as it is. Your Android phone can upload, you can upload a different program on your Android phone. Yeah, it's open source basically. Anybody can, you can put whatever you want here on this phone. That's why a lot of phones, Android phones, you can literally put USB-C and put it to a display unit of a different thing. Apple doesn't allow a lot of these things. You can on this phone you can download what is known as APKs. APK, it's an app that might not be there on Google Play. So let's say, for instance, you are looking for a certain game, and that game, your phone is a little bit old in hardware. You can go and find an APK file that actually goes with the particular phone you have and install that game, which is old. Of course, it might ask you to upgrade when you get into the game if it's an online game and whatnot and stuff like that. But with these Android phones, you can do that. You have the freedom of doing that. On phones like iPhone, you can't do that. They already restrict you on what you can install on the phone, on what you can put on the phone. It's a very restricted platform. All right. Now that you understand that, if Google has its way with what they're trying to implement, I'm going to show you some articles and whatnots and stuff like that. If they have their way, you will not be able to do that. And guess what? This is the thing that makes Androids unique. That I can right now go and find an APK file to install an emulator thingy that allows you to play games that are outside of the Android thingy, and I can emulate a different device, basically a completely different device than this. There is already platforms that allow you to do that. And so if Google has their way, by September 2026, they are going to stop this ability for you that you have right now. This is all control. It's all control of data, controlling what people are using, and they are already trying to push for that. So this menu, some of the people in the Geek community have noticed, wait a minute, the menu this side, it's a normal recovery, Android recovery. So if you had format your thingy, it will give you all these options. You see all these blue options right here. This is the old menu. You can reboot, you can apply an update, you can wipe the data, factory, whatnot, you can wipe the cache partially, you can run a graphics test, you can run a local test, or you can power off. Notice on this side, on the new menu that people are seeing in January, a lot of those things have been removed. They are already removing the ability for you to use your phone as you would have wanted to. They are removing some of these options out of thingy. And this is because of this goal towards control. It's here. In 2025, there was this article that was published on the 25th of August 2025, a new layer of security for certification on Android devices. So basically, they wanted the people that upload apps and all these things to put their identity. They were not required of doing that. And so you could have people publishing all kinds of apps there. And the reason for that is because there are people who want to publish their thing and not have their identity out there. Right? And so when they lose that level of privacy, it restricts. They were already having this particular thing coming out. And around that same time, November towards last year, they were claiming that malicious Android apps on Google Play download over 24 million times. So already they are showing that they don't like how this entire thing is going out or how it's panning out. Because the phone, an Android phone, you could use it anyhow. There are people, of course, who are fighting this entire thing, and you see it keep Android open. Countries where this entire thing, who can go and apply so that they can refute this thing and try and argue in their favor pertaining this thing, because they are trying to push this. They are trying to make this universal. They're trying to, and you'll remember Android from the time when it was began, from the time when they started Android, it was in opposition to what iPhone was going to be, right? From the beginning of 2008 and so forth, it was a completely different thing. But for them now to want to change it, it tells you what they're looking for: control. They want to control users pertaining what data they are using and what they can put on their phones. Exactly the way you see Apple is structured right now. Apple does not allow you to just install whatever app you want. You can't use your phone as you please, as you want to. They've already switched, as I showed you. They're already starting to switch up the menus, which is how you would reboot a thing. They've already taken away some of these options. Now, of course, there's phones that are kind of like trying to come up and stuff like that. That might kind of like go towards creating new software, entire thing. But at this point, if Android goes this route of trying to destroy people's thing, I think Motorola is on the line to try and do that and stuff like that. But if Google tries to go this particular route, it's gonna create a lot of problems. But one thing for sure you can bet, they are already trying to come for the phones. They are trying to take the freedom that people have. They're already trying to practice this thing. This is not, it's not a human thing. This is spiritual. This desire, it's spiritual. People will look only at the physical, but it's a spiritual thing that you are seeing here. This is the direction to prepare the world for the Antichrist. It's so important you see it for what it is. This need for control, controlling everything. That's the direction they want to go. And I hope this video finds you well. These people will not stop at anything. They will not stop at anything. If they're already shortening the list, they're already taking out, now they want app verifications, and before you know it, they want to lock out any that is not verified. So those apps that you didn't have on Google because they were not signed by thingy and you just have an APK, you will not be able to install them. Now, right now, it doesn't sound like a problem until you actually realize. I think for most people, they need to see the problem in front of them for them to realize what kind of a problem it is. But keep an eye out, because this is the direction the world is going. It's Ricky, and I hope this finds you well. I'll keep you updated as more of these things keep happening.